Welcome to our in-depth exploration of the tragic case of Tyre Nichols, a young man whose life was cut short by a harrowing encounter with law enforcement. On January 7, 2023, Tyre was stopped by police in Memphis, Tennessee, for alleged reckless driving. What transpired next was a brutal confrontation that left Tyre severely injured, ultimately leading to his death 3 days later. In this video, we will unpack the circumstances surrounding his death, the public outcry that followed, and the ongoing quest for justice and police reform in the wake of this tragedy. Background of Tyre Nichols. Tyre Nichols was a passionate young man from Memphis, Tennessee, whose life was defined by his love for photography and skateboarding. Known for his vibrant spirit and infectious personality, he quickly earned the admiration and friendship of those around him. Growing up in a neighborhood that faced various socioeconomic challenges, Tyre stood out due to his relentless positivity and determination. His dream of becoming a professional photographer drove him to capture the beauty of life, often taking photos of the world around him. He had an eye for detail and a unique perspective that made his work resonate with others. Tragically, his aspirations were cut short on January 7, 2023, when a routine traffic stop for alleged reckless driving spiraled into a heartbreaking series of events. This incident not only led to his untimely death, but also left a deep impact on his community, igniting a national conversation about police conduct and the treatment of individuals by law enforcement. Tyre's life and tragic fate serve as a poignant reminder of the urgent need for reform and better understanding between communities and police. The incident. On the night of the traffic stop, Tyre Nichols was abruptly pulled from his vehicle by police officers who quickly escalated the situation without justification. Witnesses described a chaotic scene where multiple officers surrounded him, immediately resorting to excessive force. Tyre endured a brutal beating that inflicted critical injuries, fundamentally altering the course of his life. Throughout the encounter, he pleaded for help, expressing his fear and desperation, yet the officers ignored his cries and neglected to provide any medical assistance. Instead of prioritizing his well-being, they focused solely on detaining him, demonstrating a troubling disregard for his humanity. After the harrowing incident, Tyre was rushed to the hospital, but despite the medical intervention, he succumbed to his injuries 3 days later. His tragic death sent shockwaves through his community, leaving family and friends devastated and grappling with profound grief of those around him. It ignited outrage and demands for accountability, leading many to search for answers about how such a horrific event could transpire. This incident not only changed lives, but also sparked a national conversation about police practices and the urgent need for reform. Public outcry and protest. The shocking nature of Tyre Nichols' death ignited widespread protests that rippled through not only Memphis, but also cities across the United States. Activists, community leaders, and ordinary citizens united, rallying to demand justice, accountability, and essential reforms within law enforcement. Many took to the streets, chanting for justice and sharing their outrage on social media platforms, amplifying the message of their cause. The release of body camera footage depicting the brutal encounter escalated public anger, sparking intense discussions about police violence, particularly against marginalized communities. These demonstrations served as a powerful testament to the collective frustration and grief felt by many, highlighting the urgent need for systemic change in policing practices. The outcry resonated far and wide, emphasizing the necessity for comprehensive reforms aimed at preventing future tragedies like Tyre's. As protesters gathered, they not only sought justice for Tyre Nichols, but also worked to foster a broader dialogue about the urgent reforms required to ensure safety and fairness in law enforcement, making it clear that the fight for justice was about much more than one tragic incident. The trial of the officers. The trial of the former Memphis police officers charged in Tyre Nichols' death attracted extensive media coverage and intense public scrutiny. The officers faced serious allegations, including second-degree murder and aggravated assault, making the proceedings a crucial focal point for discussions surrounding police accountability and the need for enhanced training within law enforcement. Legal experts closely examined the complexities of the case, delving into the systemic issues that contribute to police violence. As the trial progressed, it raised essential questions regarding the justification of the force used by officers, sparking heated debates about the appropriateness of their actions. The potential outcome of this trial holds significant implications. It could set important legal precedents, influencing how similar cases involving police violence are addressed in the future. The case not only spotlighted the immediate circumstances surrounding Tyre's tragic death, but also highlighted the broader issues at play within the justice system, prompting advocates to call for a re-evaluation of police practices and accountability measures nationwide. With the eyes of the nation on this trial, many hoped it would serve as a catalyst for meaningful reforms to prevent further instances of police brutality. Impact and lessons. The Tyre Nichols case has had a profound impact on both the local community and the national dialogue surrounding police practices and community relations. This tragic incident has underscored the urgent need for systemic reforms within law enforcement agencies, prompting widespread discussions about the necessity for better training programs. These programs should emphasize de-escalation tactics, mental health awareness, and enhanced community engagement to foster trust between police and the communities they serve. Furthermore, the case has highlighted the critical importance of transparency and accountability within police departments, advocating for stronger oversight mechanisms to prevent similar tragedies in the future. The lessons learned from Tyre's case must be harnessed to drive meaningful changes in policing, ensuring that all individuals are treated with respect and dignity. By prioritizing reform, society can work toward a safer and more equitable environment for everyone, aiming to build a future where tragic events like Tyre's death are not repeated. It is vital that community voices are included in this process, creating an open dialogue that promotes understanding and collaboration between law enforcement and the citizens they protect. Legal and social implications. The Tyre Nichols case has significant legal and social implications, raising critical questions about the adequacy of current policing policies, especially regarding the use of force. This tragic incident has prompted a nationwide examination of civil rights and police accountability, drawing attention to the systemic racism that persists within law enforcement. Legal analysts are scrutinizing whether existing laws sufficiently protect citizens from excessive force, leading to calls for comprehensive reviews and necessary reforms in policing practices. Moreover, the case has ignited discussions about the vital role of community involvement in law enforcement, emphasizing the importance of establishing trust between police and the communities they serve. This relationship is essential for ensuring justice and equity, fostering an environment where citizens feel safe and respected. As conversations continue to evolve, it is clear that the need for change is urgent, and addressing these systemic issues is crucial for creating a more just society. In moving forward, collaborative efforts between community members, lawmakers, and law enforcement agencies are essential to implement effective strategies that promote accountability, transparency, and equitable treatment for all individuals, ultimately working towards a more harmonious relationship between police and the public. Role of media coverage. The role of media coverage in the Tyre Nichols case was pivotal in shaping public perception and driving the narrative surrounding police violence. Extensive reporting on the incident brought national attention to the brutal nature of Tyre's death, highlighting the pressing need for justice and reform in policing practices. Investigative journalism played a crucial role in uncovering the facts of the case, meticulously detailing the events that transpired and providing a platform for the voices of activists, community leaders, and family members who sought accountability. The media coverage not only informed the public, but also mobilized grassroots movements, fostering a collective outrage that transcended regional boundaries. News outlets conducted interviews, held panel discussions, and offered in-depth analyses of the systemic issues within law enforcement that contributed to such tragic incidents. This comprehensive approach not only educated the public, but also galvanized community action, leading to organized protests and calls for reform. In addition to traditional media, Social media emerged as a powerful tool for mobilizing public outrage and facilitating dialogue. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram allowed individuals to share their thoughts, experiences, and personal stories regarding systemic issues within policing. Hashtags related to the case gained traction, creating a digital space for activists and citizens to unite in their demand for justice. This viral sharing of information and personal accounts amplified the urgency for change, urging policymakers and law enforcement agencies to address the underlying problems in policing. Ultimately, the media spotlight on Tyre Nichols' case underscored the importance of transparency and accountability in law enforcement. It demonstrated how public scrutiny, driven by informed citizens and an engaged media, can lead to significant social change. The conversations sparked by this case continue to reverberate, highlighting the critical role of the media in holding institutions accountable and advocating for a just society. Community healing and future actions. In the aftermath of Tyre Nichols' tragic death, the Memphis community has actively sought healing and understanding, recognizing the profound impact of this incident on their collective psyche. Conversations around mental health, trauma, and community resilience have become central themes as individuals process their grief and loss. Local leaders and organizations have stepped up to initiate dialogues aimed at fostering better relationships between residents and law enforcement. These discussions emphasize the necessity of collaborative efforts to rebuild trust, acknowledging that the community's well-being depends on a harmonious relationship with those sworn to protect them. Additionally, community forums have emerged as vital platforms for discussing actionable steps towards systemic change. These gatherings focus on policy advocacy and the importance of increasing mental health resources to support those affected by the trauma of violence. By bringing together community members, mental health professionals, and law enforcement, these forums aim to create a safe space for open dialogue, encouraging the sharing of experiences and solutions. The desire for healing has spurred a grassroots movement toward creating a more compassionate environment in Memphis. This movement seeks not only to honor Tyre Nichols' memory, but also to inspire positive change. It highlights the need for ongoing education around mental health issues and the importance of accessible resources for those struggling to cope with trauma. By fostering a culture of empathy and understanding, the community hopes to turn their grief into a catalyst for lasting reform. Ultimately, the legacy of Tyre Nichols is one of resilience and a renewed commitment to ensuring that such tragedies do not happen again, paving the way for a safer and more inclusive society. Thank you for watching our exploration of Tyre Nichols' tragic case and its implications for justice and police reform. His story is a crucial reminder of the need for accountability within law enforcement and the ongoing fight against systemic issues. We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content that matters. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.